Hello and welcome to Lost Love Mystery, where we explore the twists and turns of love, the pain of betrayal, and the mysteries that lie hidden in the heart. The moment I stepped into the restaurant, I could feel the weight of the night ahead. It was our 15th wedding anniversary, and I had spent weeks planning every detail. The exclusive restaurant, the reserved best seat, her favorite wine chilling nearby, and a carefully chosen bracelet tucked in my pocket. Everything was perfect. But as the minutes passed, excitement turned into unease. She was late, very late. At first, I brushed it off. Maybe traffic, maybe work. I texted, "Hey, everything okay? Can't wait to see you." No response. 10 more minutes. Still nothing. Calls went straight to voicemail. An hour in, the waiter hesitated, offering to hold the table longer, his eyes filled with quiet pity. The restaurant's lively energy started to suffocate me. 2 hours. Still no call. No message. Just silence. Finally, my phone buzzed. Her name flashed on the screen. Relief, then immediate suspicion. "Hey, are you okay? I've been trying to reach you all night." A long pause. Then, a rushed, distracted voice. "I'm so sorry. I got caught up. I'm running late." No explanation. No real apology, just empty words. In the background, muffled laughter, a clink of glass, and then a man's voice. "Where are you?" I asked, my voice steady but sharp. Another pause. "Still at the office. Last-minute project. I'll be home soon." At nearly 11 p.m., I knew she was lying. My gut twisted, every fiber of my being screaming that something was wrong. "You're at work?" "Yes," she snapped, defensive now. "I can't talk right now. See you at home." She hung up. Just like that. No chance to press her further. No room for explanation. I stared at my phone, my mind racing. And then, instinct took over. Months ago, we had installed a location sharing feature for safety reasons. I had never used it before, but now, my fingers moved automatically, pulling up her location. My heart sank. She wasn't at work. She was across town, at a small, out-of-the-way motel. I gripped my phone, my stomach churning with nausea and fury. I needed to see it with my own eyes. No more guessing. No more hoping I was wrong. I called her again. Straight to voicemail. She wasn't even trying to hide it anymore. I pocketed my phone, jaw clenched. This wasn't suspicion anymore. It was reality, and I was going to confront it head-on. The drive to the motel was a blur. My knuckles were white against the steering wheel. Every red light was an eternity. My mind replayed her voice, the laughter in the background, the man's voice. By the time I pulled into the motel parking lot, my heart was pounding in my ears. The place was exactly what you'd expect, a dingy neon sign flickering vacancy, a place you wouldn't mistake for an office. And there it was, her car, parked right there in the open. No effort to hide it. I sat for a moment, gripping my phone like a lifeline. Part of me wanted to barge in and confront her immediately. Another part hesitated. Once I opened that door, there was no turning back. But I needed proof. I pressed record on my phone, then stepped out of the car, each footstep heavier than the last. The hallway reeked of mildew and regret. I followed the GPS, stopping at room 214. Muffled voices inside. Hers, unmistakable, and his, casual, familiar. My breath was steady, but my hands shook. I knocked firmly. Silence. A hurried whisper. Then, footsteps. The door cracked open, and there she was, her face drained of color, eyes wide with shock and dread. What are you doing here?" she stammered, voice barely above a whisper. Her blouse was wrinkled, her hair tousled in a way that left no doubt. Before she could react, I pushed the door open wider. And there he was, shirtless, frozen mid-motion. A stranger and yet not. A coworker she had casually mentioned before. Now standing in a room with my wife, looking like a deer caught in headlights. For a moment, none of us spoke. The weight of the silence was crushing. I lifted my phone, still recording. "So, this is what working late looks like?" Her mouth opened, then closed. She looked at him, then back at me. Panic flickered across her face. "This isn't. Not what it looks like." I cut her off. Because it looks like my wife missed our anniversary to be here. She didn't answer. She didn't need to. The unmade bed, the half-empty wine bottle on the nightstand, the rumpled clothes, everything told the truth she wouldn't say. Her AP shifted uncomfortably. He looked young, smug, yet apologetic. I didn't care. You should leave, I said, my voice eerily calm. He hesitated, looking at her as if asking for permission. She said nothing. I took a step forward, my meaning clear. Now. He scrambled for his things, shirt, shoes, dignity, and slipped past me without a word. The door slammed behind him, leaving just the two of us. She stood there, arms wrapped around herself as if she could shield herself from what she had done. Her eyes welled with tears, but I felt nothing. How long? I asked finally, my voice like steel. How long has this been going on? It wasn't, she faltered. It just happened. I scoffed. Not planned? Right. Because affairs just happen. Her lip trembled. Please, let me explain. I shook my head. Explain? You ignored me all night. Lied to me. And now, you want to explain? I pulled up my phone. The recording's still running. You see this? This is your truth. And now everyone else is going to see it too. Her eyes widened in panic. She reached for the phone, but I stepped back. Don't. My voice was low, firm. You don't get to control the narrative anymore. She crumbled then, sobbing. But I didn't care. The woman I loved was gone. A stranger stood in her place. I turned and walked out, leaving her to drown in the mess she created. My grip on my phone tightened. The recording was proof. Cold, undeniable proof. And I knew exactly who needed to see it first. I sat in my car outside the motel, my heart pounding as I replayed the recording. The proof of her betrayal was undeniable, and the next step became clear in my mind. I wasn't going to let this slide. She had made her choice, and now it was my turn. With a deep breath, I sent the video to our family group chat. No caption, no explanation, just the raw, damning footage. Within minutes, my phone exploded with notifications. Her mother was the first to reply. What is this? Tell me this isn't real. Her sister followed. Oh my God. Is this a joke? Please say this is fake. But it was her father's message that hit hardest. Call me. Now. I didn't respond. I didn't need to. The truth was out, and there was no taking it back. I drove home, each turn of the wheel solidifying my resolve. This was the end of us. When I pulled into the driveway, her car wasn't far behind. She must have left the motel the moment she realized what I had done. She stormed into the house just seconds after me, her face pale, her eyes frantic. What the hell did you do? She screamed, clutching her phone. You sent that to my family? My parents? Are you insane? I stood firm. I told the truth. If you can't handle that, it's on you. Her anger wavered for a moment, replaced by desperation. Please, she whispered, stepping closer. We can fix this. I was stupid. I was selfish, but it didn't mean anything. I laughed bitterly. It meant enough for you to lie. It meant enough for you to throw away 15 years of marriage. Don't insult me by pretending it was nothing. She reached for my hand, but I pulled away. Let me explain. No, I cut her off. You had hours to explain. Instead, you ignored me, lied to me, and now that your world is crumbling, you suddenly want to talk? I shook my head. I'm done. She gasped as I walked past her into our bedroom, grabbing a suitcase and methodically packing my things. Wait, she begged, following me. You're leaving? Just like that? I turned to face her. You left first. I'm just following your lead. Tears streamed down her face as she crumpled onto the bed. Please don't do this, she sobbed. I love you. You love me? I echoed, shaking my head. If this is love, I want no part of it. I zipped my suitcase shut and slung it over my shoulder. As I reached the door, I hesitated, just for a moment. Then, I turned back to her, my voice steady. I would have done anything for you. But now, I don't even know who you are, and I don't want to. I walked out, closing the door behind me. The house, our house, felt foreign now, like a place I no longer belonged. As I drove away, I didn't have a destination in mind. I didn't know what came next, but for the first time that night, I felt something close to relief. I was free.